right? So imagine you open your bank account and that amount is $5 or zero or in the red, okay? And your heart starts racing and you start to feel kind of nervous, okay? Kind of like panicky, all right? So before you even start thinking, oh shit, what am I going to do? Where is the money going to come from? Before you had a chance to even think about it, your heart started beating fast and you started getting like anxious and kind of nervous and panicky and just really like stressed. All right. But only after came the thought of, what am I going to do? Like, oh shit. All right. So that bodily reaction, that somatic response is your subconscious. All right. That's exactly where your subconscious is hosted or stored in your body. You see, it's not a floating cloud, kind of like behind the mind. No, it is stored and functioning, running the show inside of your body, inside of your nervous system. Okay? So all that subconscious reaction of panicking and your heart rate like speeding up, that is literally your subconscious. So this is why it's called a subconscious reaction, right? Like when you become scared or become anxious or whatever it is, right? So long you try to separate your body from your mind, or you think these are two separate constructs. You see, those are actually ideas or myths that are propagated by Western medicine. In the Eastern world, they never ever separate your body from your mind. But in any case, so long you have this idea that it's only your mind that runs the show for manifestation, you're going to hit a ceiling very quickly, or you're not going to be able to hold a frequency. You're not going to be able to hold the manifestation, right? Like it'll happen maybe, for a little bit of time, or, it'll go away. You'll revert back to old ways when you don't understand the connection, and when you think that you can rewire your subconscious only with your mind. You see, your conscious mind, your mind is the remote control, and the satellite is the body, your nervous system, your subconscious, right? And the satellite only obeys if all the cables are working. If the cables are wet by a storm and somehow the water came into the electrical system, right, it's going to stop working, or it's not going to work very well. All right. So when you have fear and anxiety, right, when you are not calm, the satellite, it's not going to obey the remote control. In other words, your affirmations will not work if your body is in a state of panic, anxiety, or even excitement. Why? Because the body reads excitement the exact same way as it reads a thought. all those neurochemicals like cortisol, adrenaline, right? All these things happen the exact same way, whether you're excited or whether you are experiencing a threat. Kind of like you're being chased by a lion or whatever is a threat to your survival. All right? So, the other thing that you need to understand is that the heart is 60 times more powerful. It's 60 times stronger than the signals of the mind. Okay? You see, your heart and mind, they have certain, a certain electromagnetic field, and that of the heart is significantly stronger than the mind. So when you think the manifestation game is only a mental game, this is why maybe you don't have the 20 millions in your bank. Or maybe this is why you don't have the uber successful business, right? Because you've been tackling it from a purely mental game, mental capacity. It's just part of it. And so long you don't have your body and mind in alignment, the frequency will be very weak or it will slide off. It won't stay. So this is where, the work of heart and mind coherence comes into place. What does that mean? Feeling is the secret. Yeah. Like Neville said. Why? Because it's way stronger than purely a thought. Feeling it has a way bigger charge than your mind alone can ever do, right? So if the thought of large amounts of money or being in a happy relationship make you feel, kind of, it makes your heart race, this is when manifestations will not stay. Okay? So bringing back to the importance of this video is that you understand that manifestation is not just a mental game. You have to feel at this, you have to feel the same thing you're thinking. If you're thinking of, huge amounts of wealth, you want to feel, here's the trick. You want to feel that calm knowing. This is literally what it means to have a regulated nervous system. To have a regulated nervous system or a subconscious that is malleable, is to be in a calm state, is to be in parasympathetic response versus in fight or flight. Okay? Because if you're in fight or flight, you cannot impress or rewire your subconscious mind, right? Your nervous system. If your body is anxious or in fight or flight or too excited, which is the same as fight or flight to the body, you're not going to be able to keep the manifestation or attract it at all because the signal of your mind is not strong enough. And this is the thing, the subconscious mind, or AKA your nervous system, is running the show 24 hours versus your conscious mind. It only thinks the particular thoughts you want only at certain moments, right? So the focus or the frequency, So the focus is not just like mental pictures. The focus is actually the frequency, what you are sending out via feelings. All right? So it's not you looking at a picture, it's what you're starting to feel. So it's a misconception that it's you just thinking about a thing. No, it's how it makes you feel. All right? Because you know the observer effect and all of that. It's not about you thinking about the thing. It's about what's happening in your body, what you're feeling. So again, this is why affirmations only work when they make you feel good, when they make you feel calm. When your baseline frequency or state is calm in general, affirmations work very easily. But when you're someone who has gone through stuff, who, has maybe some trauma and has some, we're not just going to say limiting beliefs, because a lot of it is like trauma, right? When you, for example, connect money to very stressful situations. If you, when you were young, like experienced stress in relation to money, you're gonna end up with a ceiling. Like me, for example, in my culture, in the Mexican culture, it's a huge belief that says life has a lot of swings. They're misinterpreting the pendulum and the natural rhythm of life, the law of rhythm. They're misinterpreting it with life taking from you at any given moment. Kind of like the rug is going to be, removed from under your feet at any moment. Your health can disappear at any moment. Your money can disappear at any moment. This is deeply ingrained in the Mexican culture and in my particular family. So I grew up thinking like, oh fuck, like I'm gonna lose stuff like any minute. Let's hoard. I never did that, but like let's spend all the money like before it goes away somehow, right? So if you have these subconscious, patterns that are not necessarily beliefs, you don't even know, because why? It's stored in your subconscious. So looking back at the history of your life, what you've gone through is what's going to tell you what's in your subconscious, right? What's in your body. So you're like, okay, what? So now with all this information, now that I know that the subconscious is in my body, now what? This is where we want to have a very big focus on keeping the body calm, in putting our body into parasympathetic mode, into rest and digest mode versus fight or flight. And in my practice, right, this is a huge focus, right? Subconscious work, right? How to find what is inside your body trapped, and how, subconscious blocks, and how to release that, right? So there's all the practices that you know about, nervous system regulation, calming your nervous system, like breath work and, like grounding exercises and things, which are the basics. But there's also the protocols with acupuncture. There's the protocols with EFT tapping, right? That are super important. So these will be coming in my membership. So stay tuned. Obviously, it's too long and too, complicated to put in YouTube. But again, this is when you want to like hijack and really, completely wire your subconscious, your nervous system. So stay tuned, and I'll see you next. Bye. Let me know if this is new to you. A lot of people don't know this. So